Welcome to Bekasi. Bekasi is the city with the largest population in the province of West Java and is located on the eastern border of Jakarta. It is the home of the Patriot Candrabhaga Stadium and the 4 teams that call the stadium its home venue. The most recent team to relocate to the famous stadium is FC Bekasi CIty. They are a team that have a relatively short history in Indonesian football. They were founded in 2014 as Putra Ijen FC. Since then, they have undergone 6 name changes, only being renamed FC Bekasi CIty in 2022. They have also been relocated in that time, moving from Pati to Bekasi. The club lists YouTuber, rapper and influencer Atta Halilintar as one of their owners. The club will start the 24-25 season in the second division of Indonesian football, Liga 2, but they will have high ambitions of promotion to the top flight. That is where I come in. I'm going to step into the role of manager and attempt to transform the fortunes of FC Bekasi CIty. I'm going to make it my main aim to turn them into the biggest club in Asian football. Salamat siang and welcome back to the channel. Recently, I was going through the analytics of my YouTube channel and I noticed I had a massive 35.6% of my viewership coming from Indonesia. So that got me thinking, what can I do to say thank you to all of my Indonesian viewers? Well, this series is my thank you to you. To kick the series off, we're going to begin on our first day in the job at FC Bekasi CIty. Been welcomed to the club by owner Atta Halilintar. He says, welcome to Bekasi CIty. It's great to have you here. As part of the induction, you'll shortly be given a welcome pack. Then you'll go through the club's visions and objectives. Congratulations again. So FC Bekasi CIty are a team in its infancy, only around 10 years old, being founded in 2014. They are a half-star reputation team. They will play in Liga 2 for the 24-25 season. Using the database I have, I think we're in Group 3 and we will have all the up-to-date transfers. The team will play in the Patriot Candrabhaga Stadium, which is a 30,000 capacity stadium. It was built in 1984. We will have basic training facilities, basic youth facilities, and limited youth recruitment to work with. As I said, a team in their infancy means that they have not yet won any silverware. We are going to have the chance to be the first manager to put that silverware on the board. We move forward and look at the team that we have inherited. So they have been playing a basic 4-4-2 system. They have Bankara in goal. They have Fadia, Renan Alves, Chiori and Wibowo as a back 4. You've got Sirigar, Agung, Pratama and Auguste as a midfield 4. You have Mosquito and Junaidi up top. As I mentioned, we have an up-to-date transfers database. So that means that players such as Renan Alves and Mosquito have just been signed by the club. We will have all of those players available to us. The only thing I'm not 100% sure of is the registration for the first team in Liga 2. So whether we're going to get to play all of the foreign players that the club has signed, I'm not 100% sure. But I do think we're going to make a few changes to that lineup. And I think we're going to go with a slightly different system going forwards. Now then, on to the club visions and the board cultures. So our owner wants us to strive to make progress on and off the pitch. That's fine. We aim to become the biggest club in Asia. Actionable objectives, work within the wage budget. Shouldn't be a problem. I don't think we have too many players who are on high wages anyway. Although once we get into Liga 1, that is where that might start to become a bit of an issue if we take on a few foreign exports who want a larger amount of money than the local players. 5-year plan. End of the current season, be competitive in the Piala Indonesia. Then by the end of the 25-26 season, my contract is up for renewal. They want us to continue to be competitive in Liga 2 going forwards. In terms of what the supporters want, they also want us to strive to make progress on and off the pitch. They want us to reach the Liga 2 Region 2, it says, but I think we're in Region 3, third place playoff, get the better of our rivals, Persikasi, if we happen to play against them. A more in-depth look at the squads that we've inherited reveals that the first team squad is actually really well assembled. We have a number of players in each of the positions, although I do feel we're probably 1 or 2 players light, and I can go and address that hopefully in the first transfer window. Looking at the development centre to look at the youth squads. So our under 21s does have a number of players, a lot of attacking options, not many defensive options or goalkeepers. And in terms of the under 18s, we also have a small squad, but we do have more defenders than we do attackers in the under 18s. Hopefully we can have a sift through some of the players and see if there are any players that we can promote or maybe loan out to get some experience. In terms of what is going on with the finances at the club, £283,000 in the overall balance. We have a wage budget of £21,976, currently spending £13,158 of that. There are £140,000 available to us for transfers. And there would be a number of key signings, the first of which was Chihiro Kanagaya, the Japanese defensive midfielder coming to us from Tokoa University. Then there were a number of local free transfers, the first of which was Rinaldi. Then we picked up Mudasia. We also picked up Fate Alfin. We would then go and buy Awan Setho. We were looking for an experienced goalkeeper, so we purchased him from Bayankara. We would get Alexandra Etienne on a free transfer. He has previous experience of playing in England with Boreham Wood. And finally, we would get ourselves a bit of a steal as we sign Ethan Kohler. The 19-year-old comes to Indonesia to play for FC Bekasi CIty, having previously played in America and Germany for Werder Bremen. So overall, the transfers were pretty balanced. We would spend £145,000, but we would sell £68,000 worth of players, with Fathia, Chiori, Sirigar, Janadi, Auguste and Suzuki all leaving the club. That means that going into our first game of the season, this is roughly what our starting lineup will be. So we have picked out a 4-3-3 to play with across the first season. We'll have Setho in goal, Alfin, Rinaldi, Renan Alves and Susanto. We'll have Kohler, Konagoya, Ferroni, Mudasia, John Clay and Mosquito. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to play all of those players because of the registration rules for Liga 2. But across the season, hopefully, using the windows that we have, we can get all of those players some first team football. Our league campaign would start off with some crazy results. In the first game, we'd build up a 2-goal head start just to let Percy Tara pull it back to 2-2 before winning the game late through Mosquito. In the second game, we were far more convincing. We managed to put 4 goals past Percy Carbo to give us 3 more points. And then we ran riot against Persib, scoring 6 times in our massive stadium. However, we did it in front of no fans. After 12 Liga 2 match days, we come to the end of the first round. We find ourselves winning Region 3 with 33 points, having played 12, won 11 times and losing just once. We had a 45 goal difference and those magical 33 points. We would win our region by 5 points from PSIS, who would finish in second, and also qualifying for the next round is Percy Carbo, who finished on 16 points. So we beat all of the other teams in our region. The only team to beat us would be PSIS, as we would go down 2-1 to them in the first round. The second phase of Liga 2 would begin just like the first, with 3 wins in a row. Firstly, there'd be a 3-0 victory against Mitra Kuka. That would be followed up by a professional display to take all 3 points from Nusantara. Finally, another crazy game, as 6 goals were scored in a 4-2 thriller away from home against Badak Lampung. After all 6 games in Liga 2 Phase 2 were complete, we would end up winning Group A quite convincingly. We'd gain 16 points from our 6 games, winning 5, drawing 1 and going undefeated in the second phase. We'd have 13 as our goal difference and getting 16 points would put us forward into the playoffs to see if we can gain promotion into Liga 1. Looking at the schedule, you can see that after we won those first 3 games moving into the second phase, we'd continue winning games all the way up until the Indonesian Cup quarter-final. We'd get knocked out there against PSBS, and our only draw would come on the final match day against Badak Lampung, and our reward for getting through to the semi-finals is a 2-legged affair against Percy Carbo. The first leg against Persikabo did not go to plan, as we would lose 1-0. But in the second leg, we would remind them of why we had just won both phases of Liga 2. We would overturn that 1-goal deficit with a devastating 6-0 victory to go on into the final. That means only a 2-legged final against Persipura stands between us and promotion. The first leg of this final would go like an absolute dream. We had an electric start to the game, and that would see us take an early lead. We would build upon that lead and end up running away to a simple 4-0 victory in the first leg. If the first leg was simple, the second leg was anything but. In a game which we should have controlled, it ended up going crazy. There were 7 goals in total, and we would lose the game 4-3. That didn't matter though, as we end the season by handing the club its first ever trophy, as we win Liga 2 and gain promotion to Liga 1 at the very first time of asking. Let's begin the wrap up of Season 1 by looking at the season review for the 24-25 season. You can see our Liga 2 trophy proudly on display there on the main screen. In the new rivals, our signing of the season would go to Alexandre Etienne. The 22-year-old would have a fantastic first campaign with us, playing in a total of 21 games. He would score 16 times. He'd also chip in with 8 assists. He would score himself a 7.8 average rating. Fantastic first season at the club. In terms of the season's results, we would go on to gain promotion to Liga 1. We would win both Phase 1 and Phase 2 of Liga 2. We would then go through the semi-final and the final to gain our promotion to Liga 1. In terms of moments to remember, our biggest win is a 9-1 victory against Persikabo. Our match to remember is also a victory against Persikabo with a 4-0 win. Goal of the season, that goes to Mosquito for a goal scored against Mitra Kuka. In terms of the finances at the club, well, firstly, club reputation. We started off as a half-star national reputation club. We're going to finish the season as a half-star national reputation club. Sponsorship deals, there have been no new sponsorship deals across the year. Our revenue is up, the broadcast revenue is up, corporate and hospitality is up, competition prize money is up, and matchday commercial and retail is up. In terms of the merchandise sales, £339. Money well spent. Our lineup across the season would average out to be Seto, Alfin, Rinaldi, Alves, Susanto, Cola, Ferroni, Konagaya, Mudacia, Etienne and Mosquito. In terms of the accolades, I would go on to be Indonesian League 2 Manager of the Month for September, November, January. I would also win Manager of the Year. We'd have Mosquito as the fans' player of the season. Young player of the season would be Alexandre Etienne. Signing of the season would also go to him. Mosquito would get goal of the season. He would be the top scorer. Most assists would go to Fait Alfin. Alexandre Etienne would get most player of the match awards. Highest average rating would go to Mosquito. Renan Alves would get most passes completed within 90 minutes with 56. So, overall, a fantastic first season at the club. We would go on to win promotion to Liga 1. And just like that, Season 1 is officially complete. We have managed to gain ourselves promotion to Liga 1. We have won all aspects of Liga 2. And we even added the first trophy to the trophy cabinet at FC Bekasi CIty. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to know how we're going to get on in Liga 1, you're going to have to come back in episode number 2 to see how we fare in the Indonesian top flight. Before I leave you, please don't forget to hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. Once again, this series is a nod to my Indonesian viewers. I know you're out there thanks to the analytics on YouTube. So for this one, I'm going to leave it there. A big thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Sampai jumpa.